Hello, my name is Bidoof, and in this one I'm finishing off the simple trio by beating Pokemon Omega Ruby with my favorite Pokemon, Bidoof. I've done this 2 times before with Numel and Woobat, so really quick I'm going to explain my rule set. I play with no items, and I cap my levels to the gym leader's highest level. I also allow myself to use any move that Bidoof gets in any generation. I like Bidoof because they're cute and they have the ability Simple, and if you don't know what that is, look it up, let's get into it. Also for this video, I kept in the interesting fights in the Elite Four and Roxanne because I'm explaining how I play over her. Every other fight was basically just a setup sweep and I really don't need to show them or ramble over them for around 2 minutes. Alright, we've seen enough of Roxanne, let's move on. First up is Norman, and me and my Bidoof are going to show him who the real normal type trainer is. For this fight, I'm running Sword Stance, Return, Defense Curl, and Yawn. He opens up with a Slacking, who likes to yawn on turn 1. I'm using Chesterberry, so I'm happy to yawn along with this Slacking, and set up after he goes to sleep. The Slacking is very, very annoying because it also has Encore, and likes to Encore me into my setup moves when I'm done setting up and want to sweep. He also likes to yawn me after I've already used my Chesterberry, which is very rude. This first Slacking though isn't too big of a deal, and once I knock him out, his Vigoroth comes out. I EV'd my Bidoof to be able to outspeed and one-shot the Vigoroth, so after that is the second Slacking. This is the reason why I wanted to get +6 defense, because this Slacking has Retaliate, which has 140 base power when a Pokemon has previously fainted, which the Vigoroth, unfortunately, has previously done. At 0 defense, this one-shots around 10 Bidoofs, so bulking up to +6 stops Norman from clicking Retaliate, and instead clicks Chip Away, which is 70 base power, but goes through your defense boosts. So this is why I'm curling my way up to +6 defense, even though Chip Away goes through defense boosts. It's to make him not click Retaliate and click the weaker Chip Away. I thought this was a pretty interesting fight because Norman basically counter teams me and still loses. Nice job, Dad. Also, before we go, I actually think this is one of the only fights in the game that is harder for my Bidoof than it would be in Emerald, so that's fun. Also, you're probably asking, why didn't I just run Protect? That's boring, stop being a coward. Play the game. Next up is Tat and Elizabeth, and in this one, Bidoof needs to win a 2v1 against a normal resist. I open with Bidoof and Castform, who immediately sacrifices itself to the Sun God, who is Solrock. To win this fight, I have to get a bit lucky for the first turn. Lunatone can either click Psychic or the useless Light Screen, and to have enough health, I kinda need it to click Light Screen. This allows me to set up a defense scroll to take less damage from Rock Slide and not be hit by Psychic before setting up Amnesia on the following turn. After that, the Solrock sets up the Sun. Thinking that they're going to start spamming Solar Beam, I mistakenly go for another Amnesia. After that, the Solrock does start spamming Solar Beam and Lunatone starts spamming Calm Mind. I think at this point, Timmy and Lily felt pretty bad for me because I had been trying to beat them for a while and kind of just gave me the win. I only need 1 Sword Stance to one-shot the Lunatone, so I take it and win the battle. I'm not 100% sure I could have won this battle in Emerald given they have 4 Pokemon in that one, but luckily they left the Claydol and Xatu at home, so me and my Bidoof got out with the win. Now we're at the Elite Four, and first up is Sydney and his Dark types. I swear, this fight may have been the most annoying fight of this entire run. It isn't a difficult fight, but my man Sydney was hitting almost every single swagger on my Bidoof, and my Bidoof, like the picked on kid in elementary school, could not stop hitting himself. Along with the fact that it felt like his Crunch had a 100% chance to defense drop when he was using it. So, I get through all of that, only to have his Absol crit through my defense raises with Night Slash every single time. This fight honestly took me 3 times longer than it should have because Sydney made some sort of dark deal to give me and my Bidoof terrible luck. Like I said, there's really no strategy in this fight. It's very easy. I set up, I sweep. That's it. But every single time, got really bad luck. I'm tired. Next up is Phoebe and her ghost types. This one was a first try victory, so there isn't much to talk about. The Dust Collapse has Curse, so I can't really set up much on it, but in this one it goes for Confuse Ray instead, which I immediately hit myself after. If I were rerunning this one, I would just equip a Persian Berry to cure my confusion. I mean, I did more damage to me than she did to me, so it really wasn't that hard. Also, Phoebe has a Prankster Mound that doesn't have a move that takes advantage of Prankster. Something like Will-O-Wisp there may have made this fight slightly more difficult. But even though I got pretty close to losing this one, having an entire team slower than Bidoof also makes it a lot easier. Also, and I just realized this, if Sableye clicks Fake Out here, I lose. Why didn't she click Fake Out? I don't know what she's doing. It's fine. Next up is Glacia. I actually really like this fight. I cannot use Return because of her ghost types. I tried using Crunch, but it doesn't have enough power to one-shot the Glalie. So I go back to the tried and true Defense Curl Rollout combo. If you don't know, Rollout is a move that increases power every turn, and if Defense Curl has been used previously, it doubles in power. It is also super effective, meaning the first Rollout has more power than Crunch on the Glalie, which is the move I would normally run instead of Return. For the lead Glalie, I want to outspeed it, so I can one-shot it the turn after Hail goes down without it getting Hail back up. I want to do that because under Hail, her Frostlats gets an evasion boost, meaning an already inaccurate rollout is even more inaccurate. Therefore, I have limited terms to set up and go for 2 defense curls for the Glalie, 2 amnesias for the Blizzard coming from the Frostlats, and 1 Swords Dance to one-shot everything. Luckily, my rollouts hit and her Blizzards don't freeze me. Her second Glalie has Protect, but like I said before, the first rollout can one-shot, so it's not an issue. Also, before I go out, get you a partner that loves you as much as Glacia loves the Snorunt, because, dang. Next is Drake, who was also a first try victory. It's just another example of a setup sweep with Bidoof, and yes, that is a pun. I don't know what it is about Dragon type trainers sucking, but here we are again, where the Dragon type trainer is the easiest of the Elite Four. Previously, Drayden was one of the easiest gym leaders in Unova. Iris doesn't know how to drain her Pokemon, Hassel is boring, and Lance is a murderer. So, I guess just enjoy this Bidoof sweep, along with some chill beats. Last is Steven, and I'm going to be honest with you, I thought the champion for this league was going to be Wallace, which would have been much easier to beat. First problem is Skarmory runs Toxic, so I have to outspeed it, and run Taunt, which would prevent it from clicking Toxic. This means I have to run Taunt, Defense Curl, Swords Dance, and then my attacking move. I cannot run Amnesia. For my attacking move, the most powerful choice I have is Crunch, because I can't use my preferred choice of Return, and I can't use the super effective choice of Dig because of the Skarmory. The only issue with that is at +6, Crunch doesn't one-shot Cradily, which does one-shot me back because I can't run Amnesia and I can't boost my special defenses. You'll notice that I am not running Leftovers, like I have for this entire run. So what item did I end up going with? I can't run Black Glasses because I still don't one-shot Cradily. Even with that, I can't run Life Orb because the recoil would be way too much, and I can't run any of the choice items because I wouldn't be able to set up. So, better break out the guitar and start practicing your scales because I brought the metronome. The metronome is an item that increases the power of a move by 20% to a maximum of 100% if that move is used in succession. So, instead of max attack, some speed, some HP like I've been running for the rest of this run, I'm using max HP, enough speed to outspeed Skarmory, and some attack. This gave me enough HP to survive the rest of Steven's Pokemon. Also, fun fact, and you'll notice, I outspeed the Metagross. How do I do that? Mega Metagross has its base speed of 110, but, thankfully for me, in Gen 6, the turn that Megas evolve, you keep the base speed of your non-Mega evolved form, which is 70, which is why Bidoof was able to outspeed and one-shot the Mechanical Beast of Pure Destruction. I really liked this fight and was downright gleeful that I could use an item I had never used before. Honestly, put this frickin' fight in the Louvre, put this one in the Rijksmuseum right next to The Night Watch by Rembrandt, put a little kiosk on repeat. This thing is a work of art and should be cherished like one. That's all, you're welcome, goodbye.